Hello, and welcome to this week's Tarot Tuesday with Stars in Her Eyes. This week, we are digging into the question, what is rising within us? I am using Yasmin Boland's Moonology deck to answer this question for us all. So in order to pick your card, just go ahead and close down your eyes. Draw in a nice big breath and let it go through the mouth. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes and pick whichever card your eye naturally gravitates towards. All right, so now that you've all picked your cards, we're going to get right into the reveal. And we're going to work from left to right. So if you picked that first card over to the left, we're going to start with you. One thing right off the bat, when I look at all four of these cards, it's very obvious that we're all doing the work this retrograde season that we're meant to be doing. We're journeying inward to the shadow. We're kind of sitting with the patterns and ideas that have limited us, and we're starting to break through them, or we're starting to power through them. And so what these cards are showing, what's rising within us, is a reflection of just how much work we've done. So if you picked that first card over to the left, it's the new moon in Capricorn. And this is marking a professional shift that you have been digging into and hoping for and wishing for. So, and this is for the better. One of the things, you know, if you're unhappy in your position, and you also acknowledge that you hold the power to change it. So now is the time with this Capricorn energy for you to plan and strategize, to mark your way forward, and then to go out and get it done. And so you can sit and ask yourself what it is that you want from your career and what you want for yourself professionally, and knowing that there are no limitations to this. It is never too late to jump into a new career, and it's never too soon to start exploring other options if you're unhappy. And just also, you're starting to acknowledge the ways in which you yourself have kept yourself stuck. So that Capricorn energy is all about getting really grounded and tethered, and knowing that the only way to go is up. That the only way to start moving that energy is to start trekking forward and being aware that things may not be smooth. It might not be like one fine sweep up to the top of the mountain, that you might have to do a little bit of the harder work, and you're okay with that, and be okay with that. Every time you hit that bump in the road, know that you are beyond capable of accomplishing it and rising above it, but also that you are divinely supported and that your guides want this just as much as you do. This is a mark that you are being called into the line of work or into the area professionally that you are meant to be in. So what if you picked that card, whatever just kind of got stimulated by that professional shift, go with it, sit with that, and continue to move with it. Okay, so that second card in from the left, we have the new moon in Pisces. So this is this idea of meditate and contemplate. What you ladies are seeing is a romantic shift, or a shift in your dreams. So you might be calling in a soulmate. You might be calling in a perfect fit home or apartment. What the bottom line is that you need to focus on what you want rather than focusing on what you no longer want. So if you are someone who is dreaming up this new place to live, rather than focusing on all of the things you've disliked about every single place you've lived before, you want to start dreaming up or putting into motion or putting words to what it is you want to see manifested in front of you. And so this is a card that will help you or is calling you to sit with your feelings about those things. Pisces is a water sign. It's a very emotional. It's kind of the poet and the dreamer of the zodiac. It's that final sign. It's the mystic. It's very spiritually driven. So sit with that energy. And know that this is a time of immense healing. So if you are feeling very weighted by life right now, know that part of that weight is because you're purging. And when we purge, we create this space for what we do want. Okay? And it helps us fine tune what it is we do want. And so ultimately, this card is showing that now is the time where you're able to dream your desires into reality. And so that next card, so that third card from the left, we have the new moon in Taurus, which is an awesome card because what you're seeing is a shift in your abundance. So we're seeing things change, like we're starting to see an increased sense of self-worth. We're starting to place a value on ourselves, understanding that what we deserve may not be what we're being offered, and knowing that now is the time to go out and get what we deserve. So one of the big pivot points in this card, though, is that we start to have or see our prosperity or abundance in things that are unseen. So this is a time when we call up our faith, when we call up hope. And this is when we clear up the the baggage that has sat around our value system. Understanding that a value that you had 10 years ago might not be aligning with who you are right now. And it's okay to let that kind of move over to the side so that you can shift into something that you do value. One thing, so Taurus is very financially driven. It's very tangible. And that is why that balance of faith is vital right now, so that you don't go down that rabbit hole. You don't go down the hole where you're constantly striving for the new car or the new couch or the matching coffee table or, the latest trends. This new moon in Taurus is when we are asked, or that card is when we're asked to do a little bit more of the digging into the unseen, like I mentioned. So that faith, that hope, what your higher power is, how you connect to it. So placing value there, as well as value on yourself. So knowing that you are a divine woman and deserve to be treated as such, deserve to be compensated as such if it is a financial ask that you're looking for. Okay, Sebastian is just getting going with his antics, just in time for the fourth card. All right, so this final card, this is, and I really feel for the women who pulled this card because I'm with you and I get it and I understand. So this final card, the fourth card, so the right card, is the waning moon. And so this card is an indicator that you're shifting in all the things all at once. So this is a mark that you are on one of the big steps of your spiritual awakening. So this card is asking, what do you need to release? And I'm going to ask that you actually shift your focus, not just on the struggle of releasing. So whatever is falling away in life right now, I'm going to guide you to just let it fall away and fill that void, fill that space, especially if it's something that's falling away that you don't necessarily want to release. Okay, there are some things like how we want to feel, like once we find a limiting thought pattern, we don't want to feel that way. We quite easily want to release that. But then there's other things that are a struggle. Regardless of if you want it to fall away or don't, just let it go. Let it kind of go to the back burner. And that maybe instead of releasing it, like shift your focus or shift your mindset into the back burner, okay? And just let it go. Let it sit there, let it be what it is for now. And understand that you might not be putting it there forever. So whether that be that you're hitting pause on a big dream that you have, just know that right now you're being asked to shift your focus into something different, something that will serve you a little bit better, something that will raise your vibration, elevate your consciousness. And understand that sometimes things are falling away because they need to regenerate. And you need to regenerate. You need to become, you need to nurture what is elevating as opposed to what's falling away. And so it's just a small shift in focus that might make it easier to make it an easier pill or an easier card to swallow. And so, honestly, asking yourself, okay, if I'm not holding the space, if I'm letting something kind of sit back and let it, fall away, what can I now shift my focus to? What can I nurture? What can I call into my life? And so that is something, that's vital, especially when we feel like all the things are falling away, when everything is shifting in our life and we just want something to kind of control and hold on to. Rather than look for control, look for structure. So in what ways can you build some structure in your day and be an active participant in creating your reality, as opposed to letting, feeling like the divine is just kind of taking everything, or not having things work out your way. How can you take a step forward and say, yes, you are taking that, or that is falling away, but I still have this and I'm going to put my focus here. So it's a big card. It's weighted. I get you. If you catch my blog this week, postcards or a postcard from the underworld, you might really resonate with that, especially if you picked this fourth card. So that is Tarot Tuesday. If any of those cards you want to explore a little bit deeper into, I'm going to encourage you to book a Breaking Free Oracle reading. That is kind of the reading that I'm seeing women have the biggest shift in, the biggest understanding, and digging into where to go next. I'm going to post a link for it in the comments of the video. But yeah, so every single Wednesday, I post pictures of the cards over in Sisterhood of Stars, and there we can sit and talk about what comes up with these cards and where we're going to work even deeper into them. So head on over there and join that discussion. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I hope that you get some guidance or some direction from these cards, but as always, all my love and namaste.